Yep. So we are in here on King's Row. It's going to be G2 on the defensive side first. Disco coming out on the attack. And here's where I'm curious to see is that will we be seeing any new wrinkles today attack-wise? It does look like from the very beginning here that we might not be seeing six Hanzos.
Yeah, we did see six Hanzos yesterday for those of you who tuned into our tournament. Six Hanzos on offense, all shooting the scatter shot arrow, or salty shot as it's known in public games. And we saw all six Hanzos go to the top window, shoot that scatter shot, and pick off a Mercy, actually, as the round began. And it's not even the first time we've seen that strategy. And there was a tournament a couple weeks ago when ESL did, where the exact same thing happened, and I think a Mercy died in that one too.
So X, I do have a question. Are you still in the game? It said you left.
It said failed to connect to server. I was joining.
All right. Let me try and invite you again and see if you can get back in here, because right now we are preparing our defenses, but you are not in here.
Says I'm joining, so we'll go.
Well, while Hex is joining, let's take a look at the G2 defense. We have Numlocked on Reinhardt, Rivian's on Zenyatta, Mikey A on McCree, Shadowburn on Pharah, Taimu on Lucio, and Forsaken on the Reaper. And Taimu, that's a new addition for G2. I feel like he used to be with Eccentric, or maybe I'm just crazy.
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to look up their character, the player roster after this. The offense comes in, they're running a rather standard set, and nothing kind of wonky like double Winstons. They're running a Zarya and a Reinhardt on their tanks. They're running a 76 to do that damage, and a McCree in the back. But their Zenyatta dies really early. That's going to stall this push out.
Yeah, Forsaken was able to get in there on the Reaper flank, so again, good stuff coming up from here. And I'm taking a look at Mikey early on. Mikey, of course, was playing a really good 76 yesterday, very consistent damage, and now it looks like today, whether it's because Pleppy isn't here or not, he is on the McCree, but definitely full faith that he's going to be able to pull off a good McCree for us to watch here.
Yeah, it's just you have to shoot a little bit less than Soldier 76, but the tracking is quite similar. Shadowburn, of course, is going to be running Pharah. We didn't see a ton of Pharahs yesterday, but Shadowburn, a main TF2 soldier, should be pretty comfortable with mechanics.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not running the Genji here. They're actually going a little bit more traditionalist with the Pharah, more beta 1 than beta 2, but you know, that's great. We've seen teams switch around a lot. Also seeing Mikey pick up the double kill there, so generally pretty shut down defense coming out from G2. Pharah from above, McCree in the house, and it worked out. I think the biggest thing there is that Disco was just a little bit tentative in pushing the point there. They were very slow to move in.
They're kind of playing with fire a little bit with their supports, and that's probably why they lost to Zenyatta early. Zenyatta was ahead of the shields a couple times, and now the defense is taking the offense to them. They break down and go huge jump in.
Yeah, and take a look. Numlocked has ult. Shadowburn has ult, so we might be seeing an Earth Shatter followed up by a Barrage very soon here. G2 fond, of course, of comboing ultimates like that, like many of the top teams right now are.
Yeah, Disco's going to run their own Pharah. She goes in kind of on a solo mission and gets plucked out of the sky. I'm not sure that they're really playing as a team the way they need to right now. That Pharah just gave up her life for nothing.
Oh, and here comes the Barrage. Here comes the Earth Shatter. G2's going to be going for a full team up right now. 3 people are down, and Numlocked with the Fire Strike exclamation point takes out the Lucio. So again, there it is. Both ults being used. Really nice stuff coming out from G2.
Yeah, they're playing really well right now. I really think that right now Disco needs to kind of coordinate their team and play as a team. They're running their supports in ahead of their tanks. It's just not exactly how you want to run it.
Well, we see a Deadeye coming out here after the Graviton Surge. Only takes out Reinhardt, though, and both teams down a player as Disco tries to make something happen here. But here comes Forsaken. He drops a Death Blossom, takes out 2 people. Mikey with the cleanup on the other 2, and again, Disco's going to find themselves respawning back at their base.
Yeah, I think they just need to kind of take a second and just regroup, restart their strategies here, because since the very first moment when their Zenyatta got picked off early, they've been all out of sorts, and you know, that kind of hurts your morale. Now they're actually in good positioning. They've got both tanks up front. They've switched to a Mercy. The Pharah is actually with the team right now. But
oh, Sound Barrier does go in. G2 is just going to rush this down. They don't even care that they're right near the spawn point. They went very deep in. Numlocked picking off 2 people, but they're paying a little bit. Both Numlocked and Rivian's going down. And now the rest of G2 back up a little bit, saying, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be this far deep.
Yeah, G2 running some pretty high on confidence right now. It's not often that you see a team use the Lucio ultimate as an offensive maneuver when you're playing defense on this map, on this point. So they're going really hard at Disco right now.
Yeah, no, they're going extremely hard. And Shadowburn right now sort of trading shots with Pharah, landing a direct rockets. And really, for Disco, Selva has to be a little bit careful not to get two-shotted there.
Yeah, Shadowburn, of course, is just really good with projectile prediction. He is always hitting air shots. It's really hard to win a 1v1 battle versus someone of his mechanical caliber.
Yep, and what we're seeing here, we are seeing that Disco is looking to go back in, but again, we're seeing this sort of tentativeness coming out for them. Against a team like G2, you know, there's no half measures. You have to go full in, or bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, so here comes the initiation sound barrier. I wonder if Reinhardt's going to charge in. He is. He does knock the opposing Reinhardt out, but not a pin. There is good positioning now. This barrage comes from a little far back. I don't hate it. They've got some position now, but they have to worry about this Reaper on their mercy.
Yep, but look at the ult situation here. Shadowburn is ready to drop a barrage at a moment's notice here, although he might not even have to, as we just see the entirety of the Disco team getting picked off, sort of by a team effort coming from G2.
Yeah, it was one of the more coordinated pushes by Disco. I actually liked it. Everyone did their role pretty well, but they didn't account for Forsaken on the back lines, who got on their mercy, and that's really kind of halted their entire aggression.
Well, really, Disco's in a whole world of hurt here, because look at the ultimate situation, Hex. Almost every ultimate is up right now for G2, and as they come in here, they're going to get barraged, they're going to get death blossomed.
Yeah,
and
but
I just don't think they'll be able to deal with this.
The resurrection is available, though. The Mercy is still alive. They're going to have to res right now. There it is. She has to sacrifice her life for it due to that decreased range, and they're in trouble here. A pretty decent Earth Shatter actually goes down, and they've only lost one during this fight now, two with a trade out. It's going to get scrappy.
Honestly, that was a lot better than just expecting, especially given the ult situation. I think if they could have pushed like that throughout this game, I think they would have a much better chance of getting point A. But unfortunately for Disco, G2 able to hold on to point A. Very strong defense coming out from them. So now switching sides, all G2 is going to have to do is cap point A to win map 1 in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, it could be a very quick map 1. It did look like Disco got better throughout that match. I don't know a ton about this team. It might be, you know, some early cohesion issues. They might just be a newer team, but it was really kind of cool to see how they did get a little better each push. And each push, you give them another 20 pushes, they might cap it.
Yep. So one cool thing I gotta say there, I don't think he was using that skin the other day, but that white Reinhardt skin looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, all the white skins in this game are looking pretty phenomenal. My dream is to start making all my characters dress in the rich white clothes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm sort of mixed. I think the black looks pretty spiffy too on a lot of characters. So like some characters I'll have in white, some I'll have in black. Like I run the like black and green tracer. Looks pretty fly. But...
Yeah, that is a pretty nice skin. I saw Shadowburn is running the black Pharah skin, which I dabbled with buying, but I think I'm glad I didn't, because that just looks like it belongs on Shadowburn. I'm not enough to run the black Pharah skin.
You're not enough. It's just not enough.
Just not. That's okay. I'll take my Pharah skins when in the white variety. I'm not cool enough. I can't hit enough air shots to earn the black. So one day maybe I can look like Shadow form.
So Hex, what is Disco going to have to do to hold against G2? Because if they want to at least make this a draw, they're going to have to hold point A for as long as G2 did against them.
Yeah, I mean, in situations like this, you think maybe since it was so one-sided, they go for something kind of cheesy, maybe some static defense heroes. But with the static defense heroes being kind of nerfed earlier, I think they have to run more of a traditional, whatever they're used to running, whatever they scrim with, whatever their defense generally is, whatever they're most comfortable with, is going to give them their best bet. Trying to change their strategy just because of what happened on the first section of the map, first half of the map, can generally go wrong too. Even though I think they're probably in trouble, they know that, but they have to give it their best go. And also, even if they think they're going to lose, they have to try to get their practice in right now against a top team by running their regular composition. You don't learn anything by trying to do something wonky.
Yeah, definitely not. So again, they're not definitely under the gun here. This is going to be very difficult, but we have seen teams pull out the impossible at times in Overwatch, so don't write them off just yet. That being said, looking at their defensive setup coming out from Disco, we got Grumph on Reinhardt, Futch on McCree, Salva on Zenyatta, Presto on Genji, Das Dead on Lucio, and Discord B-Ban.
Yeah, the new addition to G2 is Rivians. He's going to run on their Zenyatta.
I totally butchered his name. Disco Robin.
It's okay.
That makes a little bit more sense.
It does. So we do have the Winston. That's going to be the first initiation. He drops that shield right on the edge there, and it's just going to be right. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, they're getting directly in. 3 very quick kills for G2. 4 kills. Combination of effort from Mikey's Reaper and Shadowburn's Genji just taking people out in short order. And just like that, we might, point A might be getting capped for G2 for a very quick victory on map 1.
Yeah, that was pretty tough. Mike Yaw came in and did a really nice, some really nice Reaper work, and Shadowburn, of course, running Genji. They're both really good at both of those heroes. That's tough, man. I feel for Disco here. I thought they were getting a little bit better, but I mean, honestly, they just got outclassed this game. That's just all it is to it. G2 is an established team with really high-end players. They shouldn't feel bad about losing to G2, and hopefully they learned a little bit about their offense on King's Row. But maybe this isn't their specialty. Maybe we're going to be going to a King of the Hill, and we'll see if that is that they're going to fulfill the prophecy of one team is chosen to dominate King of the Hill, which I believe.